All right. G'day, folks. It's me. It's Greg. It's Friday. It's Lunch and Learn Day. We're back. We're talking data visualization still. This is our second week of data visualization. Last week was a bit of a rambling kind of week. We didn't have a lot of focus, but we were just introducing some of the stuff around data visualization, my kind of interest in data visualization and where it came from, and in particular, my love for the Mr. Tufty and his example of the New York weather visualization. We spoke about that last week. And then I was like, I'm going to build it. I want to build it in Deneb. Now, I've wanted to learn proper Deneb for a while, which is custom visualization in Power BI. I also like using ChatGPT to cheat, as we all know, if you've seen previous sessions. And so the goal today is to try and figure out how to use ChatGPT to build Deneb visuals, but also how to use Deneb to build this particular visual that we're looking at on the screen now, which is this temperature and rainfall visual that I've had data for quite a while. I built this back in 2019. And the interesting thing about this visual is I had to cheat a little bit. This is a column chart, and then you've got like these are invisible white columns at the bottom that I just turned white to make it work. So we want to try and recreate this in a proper custom visual so that we can actually like do, because I really like this visualization style, and it's really good for statistical analysis as well of different processes, because it gives us it's like a box and whiskers chart, right? So you get a min and a max and a median, and then your high and your low for the day and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully we can get somewhere at least. I want to make a little bit of progress today in the Deneb world, but that's going to be the challenge. The thing we won't have to worry about is the data model or the data, because we've already got it here in this stuff. It's pretty simple data model. We have a calendar and we have some weather data. Inside the weather data, we've got a bunch of visuals, and the calendar runs over quite a few years. So I've got data since 1999, which I downloaded from the bomb. We spoke about that a little bit last week. I've got an all-time min, an all-time max, an all-time average, an average temperature, an average monthly rainfall, a max temp, a min max delta, a min temp, a rainfall, and a rainfall month to date. And so that's what we're using in terms of visuals to create, in terms of measures to create this particular visual. And I've got my little icons there for the different days. For the Deneb visual, I want to also introduce either a quartile range or a standard deviation. I think it'd be a normal range. So a standard deviation range, I think, is probably the way to go. If you're a statistical expert and there's another way to define the normal range, then let me know, because I'm not a statistical expert. I make stuff up as I go along. But yeah, we want to identify the normal range, which is missing from this chart. So in Tufty's chart, there's a normal range. We'll have a look at Tufty's chart in a sec, but there's a normal range bar that goes between here and here and here. So there we go. Anyway, Kerry's here. Welcome back, Kerry. Nice to see you. And Michael's here. Welcome, Michael. Good to see you too. So let's try. So here's my plan. My plan is I'm going to get ChatGPT to build a Deneb column chart, just a regular column chart. Definitely think it's going to be able to do that. I'm confident. I feel confident that ChatGPT is going to know enough to do that. We might need to give it some Vega Lite specifications first. I don't know how much Vega Lite ChatGPT will know, although Vega Lite's been around long enough, theoretically it should know it. We might need to give it the Deneb specification so it knows how to present it for Deneb. But that's going to be the first challenge. Can I make a column chart? Then the second challenge is, can I make a column chart that has a min and a max? So I want to create these gray bars here in the thing, right? So I want to create something with a high and a low, and then it's going to have nothing underneath, but it's still going to have the base at 0. I think that's what I want. Yes, that's chart version number 2. Then chart version number 3 is going to introduce probably the median line here in the middle, or the average line, one of the two, average or median. The next thing, so that'll be a new layer on top of our chart, I think. Then I want to have your all-time max and your all-time min. which should just be also lines, I guess. I don't know if I want to make them lines or I want to make them something else. I think line. It has to be a line. It's got to be a line. Okay, so it'll be a line and a line with your all-time max, all-time min. And then I want to introduce the normal range in between the middle. And then that'll be that chart number 1, which would be the one at the top. And then theoretically, well, I don't know this for sure, but Kerry said that we could concatenate 2 charts together in a single visualization. Is that right, Kerry?
Yes, you can.
So then we build the bottom chart. And for the bottom chart, this is a cumulative monthly rainfall. So that's easy, month to date cumulative. Hopefully that'll, and this is an area chart at the bottom. Then we've got a line that shows the median. So that's a second layer. Then we've got a third layer, which is the value of rain on a particular day. And the only change I want to make to that is I want to invert it so that it goes down instead of up, so that it looks like Kerry's cool rainfall chart. And so it'll have the rain coming out at the bottom of the chart. And then we want to put raindrops on the end of the lines. Is that the ultimate goal? Or did you? I can't remember if you did that in your chart, Kerry. Does your chart have raindrops
Yeah,
in it?
I
Or
had little markers at the end of the lines. But if you're savvy, you can actually create the teardrop SVG and put them on the ends of your lines if you wanted to.
That's what I was thinking. We should do something like that. All right. Anyway, there's a beer on the line, so you can expect that I'm going to be like working as hard as I possibly can to make this happen. Okay, just a quick heads up. I don't expect to finish this in an hour. There's no way we're going to get this done in an hour. We're going to make ChatGPT, unless ChatGPT is really good. But I'm confident that I can at least get a column chart happening in an hour. We'll make some kind of progress. All right. That is the plan. So the first step, column chart. Maybe I should make a list. Oh, well, I'll do that later. Okay, so I've got Power BI open. I've got ChatGPT open. I'm going to ask ChatGPT if it knows anything about Vega Light. Hello. Do you know Vega Light?
Kite.
Might not. Yes, I'm familiar with Vega Light. It's a high-level visualization grammar that allows users to create visualizations by specifying their properties in JSON format. It's a lightweight version of Vega, focusing on making common visualizations easy to produce. Excellent. Let's look up Deneb, because there is some differences in the Deneb implementation. Oh, look, there's all Ben's videos. He obviously rates. Oh, where's the GitHub? Deneb Viz, this one. I want to get to the specification page for Deneb. That's got to be here somewhere, right? Here it is. Documentation. All right. So it uses Vega Lite, but there's probably some little bits and pieces here. I might use the simple worked example. Starting data, adding a visual, opening the visual editor. Okay, so let's get going with the basics of Deneb. All right, so here I am on a whole new fresh page. I'm going to install the Deneb visualization thing. So I go over here and I say get more visuals. Go to the app source store or whatever. I search Deneb. I can see it there already, but there's Deneb. Look at this, 5 stars. Daniel Marsh Patrick with the 5-star visualizations. So it is a custom visual you need to install. So let's install it. Here it appeared down here on the bottom. It was successfully imported. Here we go. Now I add the visualization to the page, make this nice and big so we can see it all. And then here is the thing. And then to actually edit it, you have to hit this little edit button at the top, which is kind of standard. It's a weird kind of UI for the custom visuals having to do that. But yeah, I guess that's the only way they can do it. Oh, maybe that doesn't work. Or does it? I've got to drag data in first, don't I, Kerry? Otherwise it won't give me anything. Is that right?
Correct.
Correct. Okay. Okay, so I want my calendar to be, my visual to be the all-time max, no, not the all-time max, the current max temperature, current max temperature by date. Click on the visual editor and click edit. Hey, oh look, I can do a simple bar chart just from here. Okay, well, we're going to cheat. We don't need, who needs ChatGPT? We can cheat, we can use this. We need a category and a measure. Oh, that's a bar chart. No, I want a column chart. Okay, maybe I will need to change the code. All right, so let's make a bar chart first. Let's see what happens. So this is going to be date, and this is going to be temperature, and create. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, look at that. That's a lot of weather. Okay, we haven't limited it for a year. Let's add a filter because that probably will help. We only ever want to show 1 year at a time anyway. Filters on this page. Let's choose 2011. Even that is crazy. All right, so here's our Deneb JSON specification. Here's our data table down the bottom. And it's a bar chart, so it's going sideways. So we will need to figure out how to change this into a column chart. It's probably just gonna like do type equals column or something like that. Is it?
No.
No. All right.
No.
I'll let you. No. Don't tell me. ChatGPT will tell me.
Okay.
All right. Nice one. I like being. Who was I talking to yesterday about how I'm always? Oh, it was Ellen. Yeah, you're the best. Okay. Got to always be polite to the AI overlords. Here is some. I assume that example creates Vega Lite code and not Vega code, right? I'm just going to assume it was.
That was Vega Lite, yeah.
So I'm going to say, hey, I want this to be a column chart, not a bar chart. Can you change it? And then I give it a code. Okay, we want to swap the roles of the X and Y channels. In the provided code, the X channel encodes quantitative value max temp for max temp underscore highlight. The Y channel encodes date. For a column chart, the nominal value should be on the X axis and the quantitative value on the Y axis. That makes sense to me. Let's have a look at this code and how does it differ from the code we gave it? I guess it's got some kind of encoding for X. The field is date and the type is nominal, and then Y, the type is quantitative, and the axis in the title is max temperature. So there's an encoding for X and Y. Here's a mark for Y, and an encoding for Y, which is a temp highlight. Okay. I'm learning. Watch me learn. All right. So what happens if we just smash this code over the top of our other code? Copy code. Any predictions, Kerry, before I hit play? It's going to break? No, it's going to work. All right. Lovely. Look at that. 1 year of max temperatures. Goes low and it goes high. Let's create our list and put a big tick against creating a column chart in Deneb. All right, now we've still got to. Now, what do we want this to do though? We want it to. I don't want there to be labels in certain places. Let's do proper visualization here. If I go back to my report, that's working. Oh, well, the obvious problem is our labeling at the bottom. That's a problem. Can you do continuous labeling in, like how Power BI does that kind of continuous x-axis labeling where it only shows things at, like goes January, June, December?
So open up you actually highlighted it before when you were reading the the code in the GPT. So open up your specification.
Is that here?
Yep. And if you have a look at your x-axis encoding,
Oh, yeah.
see how you've got field type date type nominal?
Yeah.
You want to change that to temporal, so time.
Oh, temporal.
So there's
Temporal.
different types. So you've got nominal, quantitative, ordinal, and temporal. And if you
Oh.
scroll down, if you sort of use your bars, and the next thing you want to do is that's still showing by day. Do you want it by day or do you want it by month? Probably want it by day, don't you?
I want it by day because I wanted that
Yeah.
density in the original. It's definitely by day. Yep. That's awesome. All right. Back to the report. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. File save. Okay. So pretty straightforward to create a column chart, as you probably expect in Deneb, because that's a standard chart type. Okay, so now we want to do a thing where there's a min temp as well as a max temp. So I'm going to drag min temp in here. And what I want to do is set this bar so that the min temp is the minimum and the max temp is the maximum. Okay, ChatGPT, come to my rescue. What's the min temp called exactly? It's called min space temp. Okay. Awesome. That works, except we needed to change the date to temporal type on the x-axis. Now we'd like to create, we'd like to make the bar, no, the column, min and max value. The min temp measure will set the lower bounds of the bar of the column. Can you do this? Good thing about ChatGPT is you don't need to spell things right. You can just write like a bad human. It knows what you mean. Okay, what's it telling me to do? It says to create columns with a min and max value in Vega Lite, we need to use a bar mark type with a Y and Y2 encoding channels. In your case, the min temperature is mapped to Y2 and the max temperature is mapped to Y. Make sense? Here, to do this, we modify like this. Okay, so we've got data set, layer, one mark, which is a bar, tooltip's true, encoding Y and Y2. Then another mark for bar, tooltip true, encoding. That's the max temp. Oh, these are the highlight ones. Okay, so these highlight ones are they when I mouse over, it shows highlights. Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
Opacity conditioning. If the field is selected to equal or off. Not sure. I'll test if it's selected or not. I'm not sure if I understand that yet. But encoding field is date. Type is temporal. Y type is quantitative. Axis title is temperature. Okay. Key changes. Change type to nominal, type to temporal. So it made the temporal change for the date encoding. Okay. And added Y2 coding channel, set a min and max. This will render the columns that stretch from the min temp values at the bottom to the max temperatures. That's what I want. Okay. Please be good at what you do. All right. Control A. Delete that. Put in the new code. Hit play. Oh my God. That is working. Back to the report. Hey, see? Life's easy. All right. So now we've got a min and max. And that was the thing I couldn't do. Like, you can't do that with a standard column chart in Power BI, right? It took me ages to figure out what to do. That's why I had to make this delta measure. So I had to create a min and max delta and then create a column that was the min and max delta. Oh, God, it was so confusing. But now I've just got a min and max, and it just like it was that easy. Man, that's awesome. Okay. So now what I want to do is add the median as a line between all the way through the bar, and it's going to sit over the top, and that's going to be using the median value, which is our all-time average. What do I use in this chart? Is it called all-time average? 10-year average, which is all-time average. Yep. Okay. So exciting. Okay. All-time average. I hope everybody's finding this as interesting as I am. Okay. That works. Great. Thanks. You rule.
Do you know what? That's probably why you're getting it to work better than I can.
That's right. You got to be really nice
Because
to it.
I've got to
Yeah.
be nice to it. Yeah.
You got to be nice to it. And no, it's the I've done a lot of playing around with ChatGPT, and it's all in having the structured kind of plan, I reckon, and giving it. But we'll see. It'll probably fall over at some point. But so far we're good. Okay. Now we want to add a layer. Add a layer that is the average as a line over the top of the column chart. The measure is called average. Is that what it's called? I want to make sure it's called exactly the same. All little t time average. That's me and my mixed case typing. Well done, Greg. Good. All right. Okay, I think that will work well. Great to hear that it's working for you. See how happy it is that I'm. All right. Okay, to add a line that represents the all-time average over a column chart, you simply add another layer with a line mark type. Of course, here's how you extend the specification to include this. So we've got a mark, that's our bar, and then encoded for the bar, and then that's the mark for the bar, and then the highlights, we already know that. And then there's this selection thing, which has probably got to do with when we click on it. And then we've got the mark type is a line, and the color's red, okay? And it tells me, choose your desired color. That's good. Hey, with colors does it use in Deneb, does it use the Power BI standard palette, or do you have to define all the colors if you don't select a color or something?
There's an option to use the Power BI standard colors, but you'll need to specify the Power BI color scheme to do that.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
interesting.
and you can define your own colors or use the pre-built schemes in Vega. One thing to note, you see how they've got that comment there? You'll need to remove that
Doesn't
when
like
you
comments.
paste it in. No.
Interesting. Okay, good one. Thank you for that tip. The field is all-time average. Yep. The type is quantitative. The field is temporal. The type is quantitative. Field's temperature. Okay, here's what he did. She, we'll call it she. We added a new layer for the line markup type. Yes, we set the Y encoding to this layer to all-time average. Yes, we adjusted the color for the line, and we can customize it to our preference. This will overlay the average temperature as a red line on top of our column chart. That's what we want. Copy code. All right. Now back to our Deneb. We have already made it significantly further than I thought I would get in in only half an hour. So I'm happy regardless. Okay, Control A, delete that one, paste this in, and then Kerry says don't put comments in. Is there a way to put comments in at all, or no? Okay, no comments. Let's keep it as red. We'll mess with the colors later. Oh, I didn't put all-time average in. Put that in there. That's otherwise it's not going to work. There's our average. Back to the report. And we got to do some, man, it's garish, but it's now, it's kind of looks pretty much the same, although the rendering's slightly different, isn't it? But there's that little M there and stuff. It looks pretty close. I've got to select the right date probably on this one, which will be 2011. Ooh, okay, it's a bit wonky at the start, 2011. Is it wonky for us? Yeah, it's wonky. Okay, that's good. Okay, we have the average. Well, I guess the same rules apply for just adding a max and a min. So that should be easy. We'll get to do that next. Well, okay, let's look at the original Tufty visual. So Tufty, New York weather. Either weather. Images. Okay, here it is. Open a new tab. Oh, he's got it as a bar, not a line. And he doesn't have the average at all. He's only got a standard deviation away from the average. Okay, so maybe we add a second bar in a lighter color to do our high and low, and then we'll do the normal range. So we don't use lines at all, we use bars. Okay. Nice one. All right, back to Vega Light. So, nice work. You really are great. You really are great. You know what I mean. Anyway, we'd like to add another bar that represents, got to say column. I got to be careful about columns and bars. Make sure I say the right thing. Okay, that represents the all-time high and low. This will be in a lighter color and will sit underneath the main column. The measures for all-time high is, here's all-time high. Let me double check. Got to be methodical. All right, all-time max with mixed capitalization again. God, who built this thing? All right, mixed capitalization, all-time max. All-time max. And the low is all-time low. No, min, sorry. Measuring for all-time high is all-time max, low is all-time min. It's in a lighter color. It sits below or underneath the main column in the Z-axis. Is there a concept of Z-axes and stuff like that in the layers? Do you have layer 1, layer 2? Like the layers sit on top of each other and underneath?
They do. So the first layer you place in your specification will be at the bottom, and every layer above down from the specification will be layered on top of that sequentially.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't have to set the order. It's just the order that you put them in your specification.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, let's see what happens. Thank you for your kind words. To add another column that represents the all-time high and low, introduce another layer with bar mark type, yes, before the existing bar layers, so it sits underneath them. It knows Vega Light. Here's how you do it. So we add our bar. Our color is a light gray color. Oh, you can put in hash values for your color. Nice. All-time max, all-time min. That looks right. It's got some comments in it. I'm going to have to tell it to not put comments in from now on. All right. It's got EIEIO. And yeah, God, So lame. All right, a new layer at the beginning of all-time high and low bars. Set the color to light gray. Yep, the IEIO. Then encoding channels Y and 2 for the all-time max and all-time win. The new bars will be displayed in the light color beneath the main bars. Give a clear representation of how the current temperature range compares to the all-time range. Adjust the color or properties as needed. God, I love this tool. All right, so copy. Go in here. Edit our thing. All right, okay, Control A, get rid of that. That's the old version. Let's get the new one in. We got to get rid of our comments. No other comments. Everything looks good. Hit play. Big money, no whammy. Is it so light that I can't see it?
You haven't put your data in.
I didn't put data in. Thank you. Thank you. All-time max. The order in which I put these fields doesn't matter, does it? As long as
No.
it's there and it's got the
Yeah.
right name. Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, that's cool. It's beneath. It's light gray. It looks right. Oh man, I love this. Okay. So now, what do I have to do next? Oh, I'm so excited. All right. Now I need to make it's a darker. It's still gray, but it's darker, but it's not as dark as this one. And it needs to be. Now I don't have the measures for this, so we're gonna have to build the measure. I'm just going to do one standard deviation above and one standard deviation below the average is going to be my normal range. I don't know. Who's got other ideas? What should I do for the normal range? Someone in the chat tell me something cool. I think otherwise I'm just going to do a standard deviation above and below the average. That sounds pretty good to me.
You can probably do an error band.
Yeah.
On the line. Let me see.
Oh.
So you got a confidence interval band. Extent confidence interval.
I think the thing for me is see how this is quite smooth? It's quite a smooth range. And then if you look at my average line, it's pretty gnarly. And I'd like a smoothed normal range. Smoothed. So that means what do I need to do? I need to, let's see, what if I just say new measure, zoom in a bit so you can see. Okay, so if we go normal range high equals the all-time average plus SDD standard dev.p all-time average. Can I do that? With a column. I've got to do the standard deviation over a column, of course. I don't even know how to do this. We're going to have to figure this out. You know who's going to know? My best mate. All right. I'm going to start a new chat because I don't mix my chats. That's the Vega Light guy. He's called Vincent Vega. I'm going to rename it. Vincent Vega -light. Okay. And now we've got a new chat and he's going to be Power BI Peter or something. Okay. Hi, I need to calculate a normal range in Power BI DAX for rainfall, no, weather data with min and max column. What's it going to tell me? If you're trying to calculate the normal range in Power BI using DAX, you have a date data table with minimum and maximum temperature columns. You can use various DAX functions. There's a lot of chance it's going to hallucinate here because I haven't been particularly thing. Let's see what happens. All right. Yes, I've got a table called weather data, min and max. Calculating the average, min and max. Yep, I did that. The average min and the average max. Okay. That's interesting. Calculate the standard deviation. for the min temperature and the max temperature. Determine the normal range. Is the average min minus the standard deviation min. That's min lower, average min, plus the standard deviation min. That's the min upper, max lower, max upper. So then I get 4. Hang on, let me think about this. My normal range, lower and upper. It seems like there's too many numbers. For instance, you could use a line chart to plot daily temperatures and shade the area between the normal range min lower and the normal range max upper to visually represent the normal. So we only end up using the min lower and the max upper because you got the max lower and the max upper. I see. Interesting. Let's try this. How much time have we got? Oh, we got heaps of time. We're good. We're good to go. All right. I didn't put in the right name, so I was close. I was close with my guess, but let's see what this happened. Okay, so first I need the average min and the average max. Let's just do this right now. Okay, AVG min equals the average of the min. What's the column called? Oh no, I think I have to use all-time min because I've got that crazy structure. Remember how I was talking about, hey, should we do it one way or do it another? Well, guess which way I did it? The other. That means that Power BI has a different thing. I've unpivoted it. No, yes, unpivoted it. So I've got a measure column with a max and min. Okay, complicated my life. So I need to calculate the average where the measure equals all time equals max, and then calculate the average where the measure equals min. Okay. All right. Oh, did I lose my measure? Oh, here it is. Okay, so it's calculate the average of the value column where the measure equals min. Was it just min like that? Oh my God. Was it minimum temperature? Let's just try that now. Min temp, capital, with a space in between. Min space temp. Calculate the average of the value where the measure is min temp. Yep, that makes sense. And then we'll do the same for max. Average max equals calculate the average of the value where the measure equals max temp. See, that structure doesn't, it makes sense because you say value and measure and then it kind of works. But yeah, it can be a bit confusing. Okay, so we've got our min and max according to my best mate. Now I need my standard deviations for the same. So I'll need to do the same calculation with standard deviations, and then I can use the other measures for that. Okay, cool. So let's copy this. That'll be quicker to type. And then new measure. This could be a whole waste of time if this doesn't work. STD in max I'll do first. STD dev P for the value where it's max. Yeah, that's good. And STD dev P for the min. That's STD min equals. Get rid of that one. With the data, we're doing STD. STD P. Calculate the standard deviation for the value where the measure is the min temperature. Done. Okay, and then our next measures are, did that one. normal range min lower equals that. Normal range min upper equals that. Let's just copy these. Just cheat. Properly cheat. Okay. So that's our, what did I call it? AVG min with a space in between. And probably, what is it? STD min? What do I call them? Or measure and measure too. Oh no, STD min, yeah. Okay. Oh. Talk about paper cuts in Power BI. I really don't like it when you change the name of a measure and then it adds the end of the name, a previous name of the measure in the thing. I don't know if, does that get anybody? Gets me all the time. That's probably just the way I type stuff.
No, it's when you like tab and it doesn't tab it properly. Yeah.
It doesn't. So you're changing the name and then you tab to autocomplete and it. Yeah, it's because I love tab. All right. Anyway, the small things that Greg dislikes about Power BI, you know. New measure. This is going to be normal range min upper. Normal range min upper. Average min. Standard deviation min. That's plus, so that's right. Okay. Enter. Now, same again for the lower of the max. Okay, new measure. Normal range max lower. The average max minus the standard max. And one more for the cheap seats. New measure. Max upper. We don't actually necessarily need to calculate these lower ones, do we? We can just do the upper, the max upper and the min lower. But anyway, it doesn't really matter. We did them all. Okay. People, I wasn't reading the chat. People, maybe a moving average might help. Let's do a polynomial regression. Let's do moving average. Yeah, moving average is cool. But I don't. Yeah, moving average to smooth it out. I see what you're saying. What would we do the moving average over though? Moving average over what? Like a whole year? And then you get, that'll give you, okay, maybe. If it looks too crazy in our normal range, we'll make it moving average to smooth it out. What would be worse? The autocomplete leaves adjacent text that you don't need, or it deletes the adjacent text. Yeah, well, it should delete if there's a closing bracket. I can think of the logic if I was the developer. There's a closing bracket and you're in the middle of it and then you autocomplete, it should delete everything up to the closing bracket. In my opinion, could cause some issues. I don't know. Maybe they've tried it and it doesn't work for some reason, but it feels like you could do it that way. All right, I digress. So now we've got a normal range, min, lower, and upper. We're going to add our normal range. It's max upper, min, lower. Normal range, max upper, normal range, min, lower. No spaces, all capitals at the start. Camel case or whatever they call it. Okay. Back to Vincent Vega. Oh, are you dead, Vincent Vega? What happened to you? Where's my history? Oh, there it is. Okay, great. Nice one, mate. Okay, now we are adding a normal range max upper and normal range min lower value to show the normal range as another bar. No, it's column as another column. This, let's put it. This column should be above the all-time column, but below the values. And be in a slightly darker color than the light grey. Please note we can't add add comments. So don't include any comments in the code. You know what I mean. It says include, but I'm sure it'll work it out. Absolutely. Here's how you can extend the Vega light specification to include a column that represents the normal range in the normal range max upper, normal range min lower. Okay. I've got a second bar. It's put it underneath the all time, which is good, but before the min and max. So that seems right. What color did it give it a color? There's our E-I-E-I-O. B-O, B-O, B-O. Slightly darker. That's what I asked. Okay. Okay, what did it do? It added a new layer for the all time before the min temperature. Yep, the main temperature stuff. Set the encoding channels. Yep, normal range max and normal range min. Use the color BO, BO, BO for the normal range. It's got BO, which is the darker shade of gray than the light gray used for the all-time range, but lighter than the default bar color. Thank you. This setup ensures the new normal range column sits visually between the all-time range and yay, that seems awesome. Hit copy. I'm a developer. All right. And now we hit edit. And then we Control A and then delete. It didn't put any comments in, did it? Listen to me. Yep, thank you. Made my life just slightly easier again. Hit go. I'm on normal range. I think we can remove the average now as well because I didn't gotta put the, sorry, yes, no, I know you're all thinking that I didn't put the numbers in. Okay, max upper, min lower, max upper, min lower. And then we'll kill the average. Oh, it has to have average, does it? Because it's like, I can't just take it out and it won't show it. Okay, all right, fair enough. All-time average, okay. Oh, so I don't need to get the names exactly right. There's mapping, so it'll map to whatever value I give it. So the measure can be called measure 1 or whatever, and it'll be okay. Yeah, cool. Nice one. Okay. Please work. Make rocket work now. What is did I need to, is it there and I can't see it? Or did I do something wrong?
Going to see, having a look at your data table. See, you've got a data table. Have a look at, see if there's any values in there.
In the upper and lower?
Yeah.
Where would it be? Right at the end, I guess. Normal range, max upper. Yep. Normal range, min lower. Yep, that looks right. Yeah, I've got values. What am I missing? So there's our all-time, then our normal range. Is it? I'm trying to figure out if it's like some kind of subtle note. Like if we change this to like black.
Is it this? Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Go. Oh. Oh, it's something changed then. It very subtly changed the color that's sitting like in underneath. It's like it's not quite right. Let's have a look at what this looks like just in a normal visual. Just want to see what these upper and lower, that upper and lower bounds thing could be completely wrong, remember? We didn't really check it. So let's put date in just a regular line graph and then max upper, min lower. No. Doesn't seem to have stuff in it. And yeah. It is spiky though, isn't it? Geez, that's spiky. I think we'll need to do our moving average to smooth that out. Make it smooth. Or could we do the moving? What is that? That's the. Or should it be the all-time standard deviation? The all-time average. I feel like we're only getting the average of the year. Is this, even though this is called all-time average, do I actually do? Oh yeah. Well, I do some funky stuff here. Calculate the average temp for all of the calendar, except where the day equals the current day and the month equals the current month. See, I didn't do this for my other calculations. Maybe I should add this in. Because I'm getting then the normal range is only for the currently selected year, not for all time. I think that's my problem. I created variables for the currently selected day and month. And then I do, okay. Made my life difficult. All right. So for max upper, maybe I'll do the calculating here. That'd be for then all time. Should be right. Let's do it here. Return, calculate the average max plus the standard deviation max. Where calendar day equals current day. Calendar month number equals well, I'm going to put this in. Okay, that smooth it out at all. I wasn't paying attention. Did that smooth? I can't even. Still needs to be smoother though, doesn't it? But anyway, we'll work that out. That was max upper. Let's do the same for min lower. See if that works. Didn't change. Okay. All right. The challenge of the standard deviation normal range is going to be an ongoing thing. I don't think I'm going to solve that in the time we have left, but whoa. I'll have a look at that during the week and then we can do it next week. Man, we're getting close though. I feel like we're easily going to do this. This is going to be no worries. The only challenge I have left, so let's try and do this now, is if we add a second chart in the same visual. I want to see if Vincent Vega can do this for us. Okay. Thanks for your help so far. We'd like to add, well, let's say concatenate, because we know that that's going to be a key thing. Second line chart below the column chart. This chart will show cumulative rainfall. Show, not short. Show cumulative rainfall for each month. Displayed vertically underneath column chart. Is this possible? Yes, it's possible to concatenate a second line chart below the column chart in Vega Lite using the vconcat vertical concatenation property. Cool. Here's how we do it. First, separate the existing specification into a variable, e.g. column chart. Okay. Create a new, it's gone past what I was, okay. Create a new line chart, e.g. line chart, that displays the cumulative rainfall. Use vconcate to vertically concatenate the column chart and the line chart. So you can create two separate specifications and then vertically concatenate the two together. That sounds about right. Let's see what it does when we do this. And then I guess we'll have date and then the field will be cumulative rainfall millimeters. Okay, yeah, we can do this. That'll be our rainfall month to date calculation. The upper chart is a column chart that displays the temperature ranges and the average temperature line. The lower chart is the line chart that displays the cumulative rainfall for each month. Make sure you replace them with the appropriate field name. Got it. Let's see what happens. Copy code into here, edit our visual. So I don't need, I just like get rid of all of this, put this stuff in. I'll need to add cumulative rainfall, which is actually, what's my rainfall, cumulative rainfall MTD, it's going to be called. I'll change that just because I like it to be the same name. MTD. Quantitative, the field date is temporal. That all looks good. Okay, and then we add in rainfall MTD in here. And then we hit play, and then we pray. Play and pray. It did it. Probably not how I wanted it to look, but we made progress. Oh, why is it so small? That's really good, but also concerning. Okay, what do I have to do? I have to say it's not filling up the page. So I wonder what vconcatenate does to make it do that.
So yeah, it might be a Deneb thing more than a Vega Lite thing in this case. So I don't know if GPT will be particularly helpful for you, but we can test it out.
Let's see if it can come up with a solution. Okay, so that almost worked. But the visual is all squashed up. The left side of the canvas, I'll call it. Now we're in a situation where we might get hallucination for sure here, where it's just going to make some bullshit up. So got to be careful. The squashing might be due to several reasons, but the common issues are domain mismatch. The date fields don't have the matching values. No, yeah, no, fair enough. Then you might squash one or something. I can see that. Sizing issues. By default, Vega Lite will attempt to fit visualizations to the available space. To address potential sizing issues, you can manually set the width and height for each view. Oh, maybe we could just set the width and height and it will fix it. And then we can log a bug with our mate DMP and he can fix it, the auto scaling when we concatenate. All right, shared axis. If you are vertically concatenating charts that have the same x-axis, in this case date, it might be a good idea to set the axis for the upper chart not to display its domain to avoid redundancy. Well, that's a good idea too. Here's a revised specifications. Adjust the width. Adjust the width. Okay, so you can potentially do that. All right, it put, oh, and then it says other encodings here. Okay. Make sure adjust the width. Okay. Okay, can you generate all the whole specification again with these changes? This will be the last thing we do because we run out of time. Here's the code. He forgot about the comments. But oh, how big do we want it to be? Let's have a look at the width of our. Anyone know the Power BI standard report width off the top of the head?
1280. 1280.
1280. That's the width of the page.
Am I right?
Sure are. 1280. Okay, so let's make it a little. Of course, you know, Kerry. So what do we reckon this is? Let's make it 1,000, and then that'll be pretty close. Bit of a guess, but that's fine. Okay, so 800's not bad, but we're going to make it 1,000. All right, copy code. Back to Power BI. Edit. Control A, delete. Oh, okay, get rid of all these things. So they're going to make them 1,000. Oh, not 10,000, 1,000. Hide the domain for the upper chart. I really like that idea because I think that's what's in the original as well. Here's another one. Get rid of that. Change this to 1,000. No other comments. Everything looks good. Hold on to your butts. Hey, it's almost working. Cumulative rainfall isn't rainfalling. Things have
You
gone
need
wrong.
to rename the field again.
I do too. Good work. Thank you. Oh no, I did that thing that I don't like. Space. Leave it. Play. Man, we are so close, people. We're so close. We need to do some size adjustments, but I'm pretty impressed that we even got that far.
That's pretty awesome. You did well. ChatGPT did well.
ChatGPT did very well. I'm not taking any of the credit except for the knowing how to use ChatGPT. All right, so next week we're going to make this work, and then I'm going to drink a delicious beer. Thanks, courtesy of Kerry Kolosko. As usual, great to have you all. Kerry, thank you very much for your help. I appreciate it. It's good to see you all. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next time. If you want to have a chat, feel free. I'll hang around for a bit, but I'm going to stop the recording for the YouTubers, people. So we'll see you all later.